Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Rotobeast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're here to present you our NBA Morning Shootaround for Tuesday, January 28th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. And if you haven't came and checked out our website here at DfsDudes.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools that help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at DFSCheatSheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing out there, bro?
I'm good. I'm ready to get in this video.
Huh?
Good. Just ready to get into this.
For sure, man. Hey, let's jump into it then. First thing first, before we get started, sorry I got a little bit of a raspy voice, kind of sick, but still just trying to work my way through it. Get you guys some quality plays for today. First game we're going to talk about, we got New York Knicks going into Charlotte to face the Hornets.
For me, it's two guys. It's Julius Randle and it's Mitchell Robinson. I think both of them are very fair price. I Payton on a price, Marcus Morris on a price up. I don't think Taj Gibson can get you minutes. Reggie Bullock is a value play. But for me, I'm focusing on the bigs. Charlotte really struggles to defend big guys. They have a hard time rebounding the basketball. They're currently kind of playing centerless. They're kind of with a faster guy. So for me, it's Julius Randle and it's Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, on the Hornet side of things, I mean, there's a couple guys definitely we can look at. I mean, I'm just going to stick with mainly two guys. I think Terry Rozier is in a pretty good spot here at 6,100. Gives us some upside on this price tag, especially against a young New York Knicks team. And then also, too, man, I like Devontae Graham. The price is down a little bit. The guy's having an absolutely incredible season. Definitely gives us some upside on this price tag. I'm outside of the two guards. I mean, I'm not really too interested in anybody else. You got, Bridges has been up and down. Zeller's kind of been up and down a little bit. He's a little bit cheap, but he's split in minutes with Biyombo. So for me, it's Rozier and it's Graham for on the Hornet side of things, and that's really where I'm at with them. I'm not got no other interest in Charlotte. Moving on, next game we're going to talk about, we got Golden State going into Philadelphia to face the 76ers.
This one really hinges on the availability of Joel Embiid. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I like D'Angelo Russell, 8,000. I think it's a fair price tag for him. It's close to kind of max I want to spend for D'Angelo Russell. But at 8,000, I still can play in a game like this. The spread is 12, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless Joel Embiid is going to play. I mean, I understand Sixers just blew out the Lakers, but that's on the long trip for them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, on the Philadelphia side of things,
and if Chris is going
right. Yeah, no, on the Philadelphia side of things, I mean, it all depends on Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid plays, a lot of people get, kind of downgrade as far as bump-wise. And if Joel Embiid continues to sit out, you can look at guys like Simmons, guys like Tobias Harris, guys like Al Horford. A guy either way we can look at, I think you can look at Korkmaz as a cheap kind of guy to pay down for at only 4,000. He gives you a little bit of upside on that price tag. But I really just got to kind of wait on what happens with Joel Embiid before I can make more of a decision on how much I like these Philly guys. Next game we'll go to, we got the Hawks going into Toronto to face the Raptors.
John Collins will start at the center position today, so you have to like that 7,500. You get opportunity second center up on FanDuel. I like Trae Young at 10,000. I'll continue to say this until Toronto proves me different. Toronto is not the defensive team seen in the past. They struggled, just beat the same Atlanta maybe a week ago. I think you can look at Kevin Huerter as well. So for me, Young, Collins, and Huerter. Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter are tournament plays and deep formats, but for me, the three-man guy at Young, Collins, and Huerter.
I mean, on the Toronto side of things, there's a couple guys that I think are GPP plays, and then there's one guy that I think you can really consider in cash games. I'll start with Lowry and Van Fleet. I think both of them are GPP plays. Just because they're kind of up and down. On the price tags they're fair price tags. I just don't know how much upside we can get on those. The guy that I'm really interested in for Toronto, though, is Pascal Siakam, 7,600. Really starting to get back in the swing of things after he was hurt for a while. going against a young Atlanta Hawks team. It should be a pretty fast-paced, up-and-down game. So Siakam is really, really intriguing me. And then I'll throw out there one more GPP play. I think you could look at Marc Gasol at 5,000, going against an undersized guy in Collins down there. Gasol played back-to-back games of 30 and 36 minutes. Nothing special, but he definitely could give us, 35, 40 fantasy points against a young Hawks team. And at 5,000, that's a very, very good value. So I think he's a guy that you could consider today as well in GPPs. Moving on, next game we'll talk about, we got New Orleans going into Cleveland to face the Cavs.
Yeah. Cavs side is going to be chalk, right? I don't really know what to do, to be honest with you. You'll have to pitch into my podcast. I like a lot of these guys. The problem is that the prices are a little too expensive for them being fully healthy. I mean, it's like they're a little too fair. Ingram's at 800. We know he has 50-point upside. Drew Holiday 7,300. We know he has 50-point upside. Lonzo Ball's been balling, but now that they're back healthy, and now Zion, see his prices increase all the way up to 6,300 from where it started at 4,500. So he's up 1,800 on FanDuel, and he's only playing 20 minutes. The favorite seems to be the guy with the first price, but how much of his usage is being eaten up by Zion? How many boards is he losing to Zion? So I don't really know what to do with this team. It's kind of a wait for me. I don't have a problem. I want to get exposure to him in tournaments, but if you're going to get exposure to him in tournaments, it's really hard to pick who you're going to get that exposure to.
Yeah, for sure. On the Cleveland side of things, I mean, you can look at Colin Sexton. He's been playing pretty well. I think that he's a guy that you can look at, especially with Garland being out. I think there's some extra guard minutes to be have. So Sexton's a guy we can look at going against the Pelicans. Outside of him, I mean, I really don't got too much interest in Cleveland. I think New Orleans is going to win this game. Osman, 4,800. You can possibly throw him in the play. The only other guys really that I think you look at outside of Sexton is I think you can look at Kevin Love, and I think that you can look at Tristan Thompson. Both of them very fair price tags going against a smaller New Orleans Pelicans team.
Bro, Dante Exum at 3,500 starting?
Oh, is Dante Exum? I didn't see the news that he was starting. Okay, definitely that's an easy value play then.
I think that I'm just going to throw this in there. I think Osman and Exum may be the best two plays because Colin Sexton will probably take over the guard role, move from shoot point guard, and that could eat into scoring a little bit. And I think with him at point guard, it gives Osman a few more shots.
Got you. Yeah, for sure. Moving on, next game we're going to talk about, we got Boston going into Miami to face the Heat.
Some good value here, right? No Jamal Murray, no Mason Plumlee, Paul Millsap. Some good value. Jeremy Grant, unfortunately, the price is too expensive for me now. 6,000. When in comparison, you can look at Michael Porter, who's 5,300, and I think Michael Porter has more upside than Jeremy Grant. So I think Grant is cheap for the spot, for the usage, for the minutes, for the point guard on the floor, and then Jokic. So for me, those are the three guys I'm looking at. Malik Beasley and Monte Morris, Corey Craig. I'm okay if you want to get some exposure to him and perform at GPPs, but the real consideration for me is Michael Porter Jr., Will Barton, and Jokic.
On the Miami side of things, I mean, I like bigs going against Boston. I mean, that's just a kind of rule that I've had for the past couple of years. I'm not going to go away from it now.
Then you say Denver or Memphis?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. So no, I thought we were going to do Boston at Miami first. So Denver at Memphis. I'm not really too interested in this Memphis side of things. I mean, you can look at Ja Morant. Dylan Brooks possibly has been playing pretty good. Kyle Anderson at 3,800 is a little bit intriguing, coming off a game where he scored 20, where he had 28 minutes. So definitely think that, it's Ja Morant for me. I'll keep it simple, and that's really where I'm at. Jaren Jackson at 6,500. You could possibly throw him in the mix for GPPs as well. Valanciunas 6.6 going against Jokic. Not really too interested in that spot.
Dylan Brooks, man, keep playing. He's one of the best in the slate.
For sure.
Now we get to Boston, Miami.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to get my charger real quick from my computer. My bad. So Boston at Miami. So while you get us started with Boston, I'm going to get my charger really, really fast. I'll be right back, okay?
Yeah, so Kemba Walker comes in at 8,000, and I think now you're starting to see the price get up there a little bit. Some really good performances. Gordon Hayward at 6,600. We're going to have to wait what happens with Jason Tatum. I don't think he's expected to play. still dealing with an injury, and with Enes Kanter out, guy that I'm looking at the most is Daniel Tice. I think he's a really good pivot off Michael Porter in tournaments. Michael Porter 300 off FanDuel, Daniel Tice 200. So Tice is a guy that we know the upside. We know that Enes Kanter's out. We know Robert Williams out. Grant Williams is a value play you could get, but has not come to fruition in far this season. Deep kind of dive that you could take a look at, in deep tournaments would be Javonte Green. He's a game time decision at this point. I don't think anybody owned Javonte Green. I thought him on the deep dive a few games ago. He had 25 fantasy points at 3,500 and was 5% owned. So he's a guy you could possibly look at as well. Tatum is out, but for me, Tice is the main target. Gordon Hayward, anytime that Jason Tatum is out, Gordon Hayward is gonna look at, and then Jaylen Brown playing extremely well right now, and that's kind of really where I'm with Boston in this one.
So on the Miami side of things, I mean, look, I like bigs going against Boston. That's kind of been one of my things that I've been for the past couple of years. I'm not going to go away from it now. So definitely think this is a really good crush spot for Bam. Bam is playing very well, 7,900. I think it's a very fair price tag. I think he does give us a little bit of upside there. So he's a guy I'll start with. Outside of Bam, I'll talk about, you got Jimmy Butler, 8,500. I definitely like Bam more than I like Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler, he's basically a GPP play every night. The guy's playing pretty well. He hasn't really shown the crazy upside this year, but he does have some upside. We know that from Jimmy Butler. And the only other guy I'll throw out there, Kelly Olynyk at 4,300. He's starting to get his minutes back, 3 straight games of at least 21 minutes or more, and got you at least 24 fantasy points at a 4,300 price tag. That's value. Against the Clippers 2 games ago, had 33 fantasy points, which is almost 7x. So definitely think that Kelly Olynyk is a guy that we can look at in GPPs as well. Moving on, this game we're going to talk about, we got Washington going into Milwaukee to face the Bucks.
I mean, we talked about Bradley Beal when his price was 7,300 and said he's going off, and he did that in consecutive games, and now price is 8,800. I'm not sure 8,800 is what I want to spare, especially without Giannis playing today. There's some default chalk on your side, which I'm sure you're going to hit. I'm interested Thomas Bryant if he starts. We see that the minutes limit is going to increase. I've particularly liked to target. You've liked to target against Boston. I've liked to target bigs against Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is having probably the best season of his career. He's not known for being a big that rebounds and does all the things that bigs should do in the paint. So a $4,000 price in a tournament for Thomas Bryant if he's going to play 20 minutes today. If not, I don't mind Jan Mahani. He starts. I like both of them. But for me, a guy that I like a lot here is Isaiah Thomas. And for one, I idolize Kobe Bryant. This is the first time to go out and ball tonight. He's been a guy who wore his shoes since he came into the league. The Lakers for a little bit. I just think Thomas may do something kind of reminiscent of what Thomas used to do when he played ball.
On the Milwaukee side thing you talked about, Antetokounmpo being out. Every time Antetokounmpo's out, there's 4 guys that I always play. I'm going to do it today. You got Eric Bledsoe at 5,800 in up-tempo. Yeah, dirt cheap, way too cheap. Coming off a really good game as well. I mean, Eric Bledsoe's just a lock in cash games, in my opinion. Another guy you got to play, Chris Middleton, up-tempo game against Washington. He's basically a lock in cash games. Another guy too, man, Ilyasova, 3,700. He's an easy play. He's a guy that always benefits every time Giannis is out. So he's a guy you could throw out there. And then as much as we Brook Lopez, we talk about, attacking him on the defensive end, at 5,300, he's a guy that need extra scoring with no Giannis. And Brook Lopez has been playing very well. I think he's a very good price tag. I really like all 4 of those guys. And today is really just some, especially for cash games, it's a Milwaukee stack going against this young Washington Wizards team. Last game we're going to finish up with, we're going to go with Phoenix going into Dallas to face the Mavericks.
Yeah, and I like 3 guys a lot. I like Booker, I like DeAndre Ayton, and I like Kelly Oubre. Willie Cauley-Stein is supposed to play today, make his debut. Kristaps Porzingis is a game-time decision. I just think this thing's a spot that DeAndre Ayton can dominate. And I think the Devin Booker is, we don't need to keep mentioning the Kobe narrative here, but everybody knows Devin Booker and what he did the day Kobe passed. And I'm playing Devin Booker, man. I'm playing Booker for that reason and that reason alone. I really like the price tag on Oubre. I think he's the best player on the perimeter outside of Devin Booker in this game. Named Luka Doncic, right? So, Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway, Dorian Smith, Delon Wright, guys really aren't a matchup for Kelly Oubre, and I think it's a really good price, $6,800 for Oubre. So to me, I'm looking to stack up Booker, Ayton, and Oubre. I think you can do yourself a lot of justice by stacking 3 guys up with the guys you mentioned from hockey tonight. I think really good 6-man stack
for sure. I mean, on the downside things, it's really just a wait and see approach. You got a game time decision for Porzingis. You got a game time decision for Doncic. We got to wait and see what happens there. If they both play, they're both obviously in play against Phoenix. If they're both out, you could look at guys like Seth Curry, possibly Brunson will get some extra minutes with Doncic out. DeLon Wright, either way, has been playing a ton of minutes. He's been playing pretty well at 4,200. I think that he's a great play. And then if those guys are out, they're going to need scoring. You can look at Tim Hardaway at 4,600. He's a guy that's in play. If Porzingis is out, you can look at Kleber, 4,500. He's already been getting minutes around 20 minutes a game. He could possibly get minutes low 30s possibly at 4,500. So really, honestly, it's really just a wait and see approach. Dallas, they need a center now that Powell's went out with the Achilles injury. They traded for Willie Cauley-Stein. I don't expect him to necessarily just get thrown in to a bunch of minutes. But if Porzingis is out, I think that Cauley-Stein's a guy that possibly could step in there and play some minutes for this Dallas team. So, like I said, really with the Dallas side thing is to wait and see what happens. With the injury news to their 2 big stars.
Probably.
Yep. So, hey, that's really where we're at for this video. If you want a more in-depth analysis, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And hey, good luck on your guys' contests, all right? Peace out.